hello to everybody watching on Blast TV. Thank you so much for joining us here for the Overtime Show, the show that happens every single night, no matter what, but the show that sometimes we don't get to interview the winner of the game that they just played. We're 2-2 on that. Okay, we had Tesses in a bad mood, but we got HooXi now winning the rematch versus NAVI, and in 2-0 fashion. Let me just get your thoughts right now. Did you think that you would win the rematch straight up?
I actually thought it would be tougher, but yes, I thought we would win for sure.
You said you were excited to play Mirage.
Yeah, I wanted to play Mirage because we have some new stuff in our sleeve, but obviously you will have to wait now and see until the next tournament. So.
Goddamn. I want to steal those. But yeah, you guys look really good. I almost feel like all the details you guys have really ironed out. What did you guys exactly do during the player break or when you guys came back to boot camp, etc.?
There's not really like one thing you can say, okay, we started doing this and then everything just clicked. I think we've worked for a long time, like 6 months now, and things come like step by step. And then we had this push at Abu Dhabi where we won, and that gave some confidence, and that makes everything a bit easier as well. And then, I don't know, now we're kind of on a streak, and you know, everything just goes a bit easier when you win, so yeah.
There are two curses that normally happen. One, if you win a big tournament, then you lose the next one. The other one is the player break. And you survived both.
Well, I don't know if we survived it yet.
Okay.
But we will see. Like, maybe you can come back to me, let's just say after the armor.
Yeah.
We will see.
Well, honestly, that was one of the best Inferno performances that I've just ever watched from your roster. I mean, it was fantastic. And the fact that it happened in a rematch makes it even more special. So I want to take a look at some highlights, which is probably going to be a lot of NiKo highlights. But you were playing B alongside him, right?
Well, you can have a lot of highlights of me throwing a flash if you want. But yeah, I don't know. He's just crazy on the first map against NAVI. This was pretty good as well.
Oh, actually, JKS in the first.
Yeah, he was following NiKo on the first half, but then I don't know. We gave him a P250. That was the end.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, NiKo from Second Orange is there. Like, even getting the second kill is hard enough these days. And then the tracking on the third frag, that was...
Oh, this is insane.
Yeah, it just...
Oof. You know, we died to the 3 guys to a guy in Sandbag in Ruins, and I was fully tilted that we didn't trade. And then the next thing I see is just him one-tapping like a guy through a smoke or something. And
yeah, like Perfecto played retake really well right there.
Oh, this is a good run by me.
Oh, there we go.
I had one.
Oh yeah, the closer. Okay, so we've actually got a TeamSpeak ace as well with the comms. So after the P250 round, let's listen to that.
All right.
I'm hiding second. Hiding down, okay?
It's back.
Banana.
Nice. Ruins one. Ruins. Knock up.
Banana,
Ruins
finish
last. And one.
Hide, yeah. I'm hiding.
Play fly, play fly.
Pass on
Sick. Bro, how do we kill that guy?
I don't know, but how are you killing so many people? Holy shit.
Sick. Let's go.
The hardest part about HooXi's job these days, hyping up his teammates.
It's to find out new ways to say the same thing. Like, I don't know. But when I saw that, I was about to fall off my chair when he hit that shot on Perfecto in coils. It was just, or coffins, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That was a pretty sick shot.
Today was a day, actually, that you didn't really need m0NESY as much. Like, he wasn't doing anything positionally bad or whatever, but, like, NiKo was getting so many kills. JK had such a great game. Were you thinking about that at all? Like, m0NESY, it wasn't really, like, any big rounds from him that was helping you, or did it not matter because you were just winning?
In the end, it didn't matter. And I think that's, with every good team, you will see that you cannot rely on the same 1 or 2 guys to do perfectly every time. And then, obviously, it's good to see, as in Abu Dhabi, for example, JK stepped up massively, and he can still do these things. So, yeah, we just wait for the right moment to step up, I guess.
Yeah. Well, again, back-to-back great maps. We've got some Nuke highlights to watch over as well, because that was kind of a movie. A funny conclusion as well. As casters, there was no way that we could be ready for that. JK just walking out of hut.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know. Justin, you can pick up this AK out yard, and then I go, like, I switch to him, and then I just see he's killing the bomb, and I'm like, Elias, stay alive! So, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead and take a look.
This was actually awesome.
What's it like to play with such talented players on your team? at this point. I feel like even though like there has to be things that happen like this in scrims as well, but you're just constantly surprised.
The things I saw in scrims.
Just like a war vet, right?
Just the first boot camp, it was actually crazy. I remember this specific thing we were playing those two, and NiKo had like, I think he had maybe 8 HP or something, and he was 1 versus 4, and he just decided to one-tap everyone. And it was just like, it was 6 shots as well, like flicks and everything. And I was like, all right, if you do this, then I can do the HLTV interview where I say I don't have to kill anyone.
Yes.
And then I did, and it became a meme, so yeah.
It was flipping out. We saw some great moments where it was like communication on one side of the map resulted in kills on the
That
other.
was a good read from NiKo, this one as well.
Yeah. He set you up, I think, with that last round. He followed Bit down into secret. I think maybe he called it was lower, and then you got right underneath them inside the vent.
Yeah. But it was kind of like we figured it out as a team, but yeah, he definitely had a lot to say. But it's often like that because he's playing Yard, right? So he has to have some good reads, and especially on the CT side, NiKo is insanely good at reading opponents. So yeah.
If there's any like nitpick, I would say like when in some of those early rounds when you had lost a player or two, you were going for late squeaky plays, and NAVI were really aware of the late squeaky plays. They kept re-smoking it, Perfecto close against the smoke. So did you feel like legible in that moment where they knew that was coming?
No, I think props to them because I saw in prep that in other matches that they used their smokes a bit too fast and they were not good at having a good timing between smokes. That was like gaps all the time, but against us they didn't leave any gaps. So it's just props to them. Yeah, not much else to say, honestly.
On the upside, I talked about how like late squeaky plays on low numbers, it's a great part of the map to attack because you have the vent rotation and the upper side. Are those two of the things that are the main benefits?
It's like it's tough to hold inner if you don't have any smokes left, and the T's can just walk out the door and take duels, and then you have to have some really good crossfires, so you have to have numbers. And if you have none of them, then it's really tough. So that's what we tried to exploit, but obviously it didn't work out too well for us.
You had a bone to pick because you were killing MPL every single round on the upper side. He wasn't getting any frags, and he had some heat for you about your Nuke performance last time.
Yeah, I don't know. He just said that they picked Nuke because they didn't think we were a good Nuke team. We haven't lost on it yet. Now we are 8-0, 2-0 against NAVI. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe don't pick Nuke. No, but he's obviously new to the map as well. He never played it before these 2 matches against us. So it was kind of cheap, I would say, to go for him in a way. But we knew that, from Mahone going to G2, he didn't play Nuke before as well. So when you're new on a map like this, it's really tough. So yeah.
I always say a really underrated skill set to have is dodging flashes upper because that's like half your job sometimes. And Perfecto was really great at it. So now that he's kind of switched spots with Perfecto, would you expect that change, or do you think that it works in the long run to have Perfecto focusing on squeaky and MPL backside?
Well, I think it's tough for them to conclude anything right now because, as I said, he's so new to the map, and it's really not a map you learn in a few days or in a few practices, and you learn way more from official than practice as well. So I'm not sure. I think he will do fine as an inner player. It's a really tough side. I'm talking from experience. It's really tough. It's just like 6 flashes popping, and when you play against Vitality, for example, they're dropping extra flashes on T-roofs, so it never stops. You just have to spray and pray, basically.
Yeah, so we've talked about the individuals on your team, but you yourself have actually done pretty well individually as well, just coming up. And we actually have one round that we all saw in the last time you guys played against NAVI on Inferno. We snuck into pool. We're first gonna look at the TeamSpeak clip for that now.
I think I heard I shot sandbags, okay?
Flash for me then.
Don't have. Wait, I'm flashing just above, okay? I'm blind. Boom.
Sandbag dead. One more here.
Nice. I'll go deep. I smoked CT, okay? I smoke right.
Still, don't go.
They block
Fall back.
They block well. I don't see short.
It's quiet.
I have B, I think.
Don't see shit.
Guys, chill. I'm in pool, they don't have.
One was triple. I can molly triple if you want. Wait, guys, don't
Just come B.
Just go B.
I'm in pool.
Guys, we're running now.
One boosted CT. He doesn't know. Flash CT, bounce the CT or some shit.
Wait. Flashing above CT. Boom.
That's CT.
I'm molly dark. I'm molly. Nice, Rasmus.
What a play, bro.
Brother.
They kept spamming and nading, so I was like, they don't have it. I just walked in.
And that was the second time. That was the first time that you did it.
Yeah.
Was it horrifying listening to your own comms? What was that look?
That was not enjoyable at all. I hate listening to myself.
Okay, so we're actually going to take a deeper dive on that particular round. So production, I'm gonna go into the clip now, and we'll just kind of get your thought process as this round pans out, and hopefully you can kind of give us your thoughts on what your decision making was. So first thing we see here is you basically fight for banana control. You see this guy here, you call for the flash for the half wall position.
Yeah, this is just like traditional banana fights.
Yep.
Like it's always a bit crazy. If there's a lot of people, like now we have, for example, 3 versus 3, right, in the start. So a lot of nades flying around, and then we get the kill and we just put some extra pressure. And what happens here and why I go full light yell mode and just walk through the smoke with no crosshair placement at all is because they kept spamming and nading, as I said in the end of the clip. And yeah,
stay on the clip, please.
I took the chance, and then I just walked through the smoke because I thought maybe it's only one guy B right now, and then they will not be able to help this, hold the site. What I didn't know was that there was a guy boosted CT and a guy triple hiding at the same time.
I'm a little bit surprised by that because I actually thought I thought part of the reason why you also walked through is because I thought you heard the jump there. Did you hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Well, the only thing I based this on was the spam and the nade, and I just took a chance because, fuck it.
Yeah.
It was late in the round, or late in the game, and when games go into overtime, people tend to do a bit more crazy things because now you kind of showed your hand already, and it becomes mind games and stuff. And then, I just stayed here for a while, waiting for my mates to come closer, and then also for them to maybe make a mistake, like maybe will re-aggress or something because they start downing themselves, right?
Something I noticed here, though, actually, was that somebody threw a moto smoke towards A. Did you call for that, or did somebody else just do it?
No, I think it was just random pressure, just to throw something and keep them on A a bit.
Okay.
And then, fun fact, as we go further on the clip here, then I will see the guy's shadow, and I know he's boosted, and then I call for a flash. After the game, NiKo's like, why would you have to flash him? You can just kill him. And then I had to explain, NiKo, we're not playing the same game, So there's that. Then, Hunter got sold a bit here because I honestly thought they were only 2B and that the other guy just boosted him because I saw the shadow and I thought that was the boost happening. But then, that was just baiting for an extra kill for me, so that was nice. And then, not really nothing else to talk about, right? So.
No, I thought that was interesting too. Where it's if you knew that he didn't see you cross, then why did you necessarily peek? But I guess that all makes sense now. You don't see this.
I need flashes to get my kills compared to some other people, but yeah.
So, more contextual question: would you do that kind of play if it wasn't overtime? Because you mentioned that it was because it was overtime. But let's just say if it was 12-12 or something like that, where it is like the stakes are still high, but it's not like razor thin margins. Would you make that kind of play?
I think it's hard to tell. Like it all depends on how the game went so far, what kind of game I have, what kind of game we have as a team. For example, in this particular moment, or like after the game, I said, I think this is one of the worst Infernos we ever played. And when the team play is not working and you don't feel like the communication is on, then you tend to go for more greedy plays or crazy plays. So I can't really tell you if I would do it on 12-12. That's kind of just gut feeling.
Okay, one more question actually on this. Production, pull it back. I want to ask, if you knew that this player was towards triple, would you still have made this play?
Of course not. It's
of
crazy.
Course not. Okay.
So,
So he should have made noise.
For sure. If he just ran, it was... but it's still a tough round for them, even if I don't make the play, because he's so low, right? And they're running a bit low on nades, I think, and also, one FAMAS. It's never nice to have a FAMAS. Nobody likes to have a FAMAS, right? So.
Can we actually rewind the clip a little bit to just before HooXi gets the flash peek to the top of banana with the car molly at the same time, just before that first kill comes down on Perfecto. I just want to ask about how particular you are when it comes to nade timings in terms of preparing for the matches. So, is this something you're throwing? The molly's coming down, you're asking for a flash. Is there some particular detail that comes down? Or is this something you're trying to do very consistently with when that molly gets thrown or changing it up?
That's a bit random, I would say, in this scenario, because they're playing a bit more aggressive, as you see. Like, there's a guy peeking car, there's a guy jumping, where if they're just giving us all the space to do whatever we want, then we will go through protocols that we didn't practice. But here, it's just a bit more chaos. So I think that the molly and the flash just ended up working well together. It was not like anything happening at the same time. I just wanted to flash and isolate the guy sandbags. So that was basically it.
Is there part of a strat or communication or detail where you're trying to do things while things are loud? Is there a good example of that? Where there is, like, you're looking for chaos so that you can make plays happen?
Well, sometimes you will make chaos somewhere on the map just to create space on the other side of the map, obviously, but that can happen almost everywhere. I feel
Actually, there was a round on Nuke where I don't think anything really amounted from it, so it's okay if you don't remember, but it was mid-round, you're in lobby, and then you throw a molly opposite vent, and then Monacy is going to walk into hut. So he doesn't scope until that little bit of pressure comes out.
When he
were you
kills
just throwing
Simple
stuff to
on side?
mask the scope sound, or were you looking for something?
No, we were just trying to basically put some pressure on door for the guys, for Ilya to peek hot, and then maybe we could get a kill back and we could play it around from there. That was not really to mask sound or anything, but I think he thinks about stuff like this a lot, like if he makes the noise when he zooms, and then obviously if he knows that we are going to throw nades, he can use it. And I think small details like this is what can make a good op also, yeah.
I want to ask, ever since transitioning to G2, a more international team, how has that experience been in comparison to, all the Danish teams that you've been on? I imagine it's a different atmosphere, different way of thinking. Can you kind of describe like what the whole difference has been?
Well, it has been a wild ride in a way for me. I feel like at first it was tough because it's just harder to make jokes and have fun and create a relationship in English than in Danish, for me at least. And there's a lot of different cultures outside of the game, but also inside of the game. And it took obviously some time to get on the same page. But yeah, I think it's a challenge, and you have to sacrifice a bit more when you're on international teams to actually get this friendship and team bonding in a way.
Do you still have to translate a lot of thoughts in your head? Like you think? Do you still think a lot in Danish?
Right
yeah.
now?
Now I'm thinking a lot in English, actually.
Okay.
When I play pucks with my Danish friends, I sometimes, an English word slips out or something. So it's starting to become, I would say that's good. So, yeah.
Who has the most HooXi setup at home?
That has to be me. That has to be me, right?
Do you have candlelight?
No, that's too dangerous. I would never. No, but I live in when I play from home, I live in my childhood home with my mom. So that's pretty HooXi, right?
Yeah, that's true. All right, we have a Blast TV question to round out the night exclusively on Blast TV. You got to be in the chat to ask the questions. And this one is, do you have any pre-game rituals that you do before every match to make sure that you're consistent?
I wouldn't say necessarily pre-game, but we have really large beds in our hotel rooms often. So you can decide to sleep on one side of the bed, right?
Why are you smiling?
And if I'm sleeping on, for example, let's say I start sleeping on the right side of the bed and we win, I will sleep there for the rest of the tournament. But if I play like dog,
Yeah.
and
a new room.
and we lose or something, then I will go to left side. That's it.
Okay.
But I actually believe a little bit in small things like this and jinx and all this. So, but I don't really have anything crazy, no.
Well, I mean, that's two sides, but you could play bad twice, then we do.
Sleep on
Get
the
a new
floor.
room, sleep on the floor. Fell asleep in the bathtub once. So, yeah.
Well, good times ahead. HooXi, I want to thank you for coming on. Great to catch you after a win.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, such a great win to bring that 2-0 again over NAVI, qualify to the spring final. Amazing scenes from you, HooXi, this year. Looking forward to G2's success in the rankings. Thank you so much for everybody on Blast TV watching at home. It's been wonderful. Thank you for the questions and joining us every single night. Make sure to join us for every single night from now on as well, because there'll be new guests right here after Pimp's done talking. Thanks for watching.